Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, we'll turn our attention now to an incident that occurred some time ago, and it has to do with the abduction of the schoolgirls in Ikorodu. Now, reviewing school security is what we're focusing on as a result of that, and we're joined this morning by Bolaji Osime, who is the CEO of Global International College. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, that did raise a lot of concern when the story broke, but thankfully the students are back to school now. But I'm sure that many schools will be thinking, listen, well, we need to review something. What do we need to do differently that we've been doing? Are you considering such?
Well, of course, I think it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call to the whole of Nigeria. It's a call to action, because this thing has happened severally over the last few years. So I think this is the time that government really has to rally, and something has to happen, and something definitive must happen right now, because it's sad for girls to be abducted, particularly girls. I know they went to a boys' school, they were not able to do anything, or they were not able to take them, but to go to girls, and we keep getting this all the time, and schools are now under attack. So I think it's a big wake-up call, and I'm hoping that government will do something definitive, like I said. And certainly schools all over Nigeria now know that this is time that you really need to beef up your security, and a lot of schools are doing this, and it's critical. And it's not just abductions. You have, for example, we have cases that I have seen that has happened of custody cases, trafficking, different things. So there are different ways that girls are picked up, or young people, and just picked up off the street. You see children hawking on the street. I see them when I come, and I'm wondering, where are the parents? They're leaving them at the age of 5, 6, 7, going to school alone. So there's so much that has to be done in terms of security and securing the lives, because every child matters in this nation.
When you say government needs to do something, let's talk specifics. What are you looking out for? Because there are those who will be looking to establish a school, and then, of course, there are schools that are there already. What should they do in those cases?
A couple of years ago, I know that there was this Safe School initiative that was started by Gordon Brown, and I think it was launched at the World Economic Forum, and it was in reaction to what happened to the Chibok girls. So I know that international organization and everybody has been looking at Nigeria. So something is already in the pipeline, and I think they raised about $10 million or something to ensure that schools are properly secure. So from a government point of view, my question is, what's happening to those funds? What have we used them for in the north? So these are the kind of questions we have to ask ourselves. We need to secure perimeter walls. Sometimes some schools are so big, public schools are so large, you cannot see what's happening at the other end. Do we have CCTV cameras? In my school, I have CCTV cameras. Though my young teenagers tend to want to block it off because they think I'm sort of monitoring them. But we need to see what's going on in the school to make sure that if there's anything, we're really at alert, at every time. And I think there's high alert now. And I believe a lot of schools must take this very seriously, to ensure that they safeguard our young people and the children in the school. I think it's critical.
Is it a question of the school taking it more seriously, or government? Because I do know that there are regulations when you're going to establish a school. They'll tell you need to have a certain size of football field, playing area and all of that. Should there be a review of those regulations as regards security?
I think it's important. That's why I said it's a wake-up call. Do you understand? We didn't have this happening 5, 6, 7 years ago in Nigeria. All of a sudden, schools are targets. All of a sudden, girls are targets. So what's going on? So it's a wake-up call. So you need to change whatever rules and regulations you have to tailor it to what's happening right now. In America, a lot of this stuff has been happening. For example, you have the Amber Alert. When I'm in the US, I see on my text, on my phone, a girl is missing, somebody is missing. So we need something like maybe an SA alert, I don't know. We need some alert that makes sure that, how can a girl leave a state for 7 months in this country and nobody knows? But how does that happen?
Let's look at the education given to the child in terms of security education. How should we go about that?
In terms of, you mean the students
themselves? The children themselves. What kind of education should they be receiving, or should they be getting as regards security?
Well, basically, we must let our children know. For example, I tell my children, when you see a stranger talking to you, when you're walking on the road, make sure you walk in groups. I tell my girls all the time, when you go to parties, we have incidents of people who have their jeans laced. Make sure you don't go to strange places. Make sure you walk in groups. When you go to Palms, make sure that you have your mom's number, you know everything, you're able to call security. And I tell people also, make sure you have emergency numbers. In my school, we have emergency numbers. We know where the police is. We know what to call. So we have to educate our children, very, very, particularly girls. You just don't go out of school or just, say you're going anywhere. You must make sure that's why parents always worry. When they come home, like for Christmas, everybody's like on high alert. My kids are going, but the reason why we worry about our children is the fact that sometimes, we have dangerous people around. There are evil people around. So we educate the children. We say to them, wherever you're going, let your parents know. When you get there, call them, text them. Mom, I'm here, Dad, I'm here. So there's an education of parents, not just students, even parents. Like I said, I see children all of the time.
It's a collective effort.
We all need to do this together.
During open houses, when you have your open house, exactly. What are those things that you get from the parents when they come onto the school?
Basically now, a lot of parents, for example, we sent a letter immediately around, and we said to parents, we have very strict rules and protocols, and we have a policy for child protection. Government should have a policy for child protection in this nation, but we have it in Global International College. We have a policy for safety and security. So therefore, nobody can come in and pick a child just like that. You have to sign in, you have to show your ID. So every parent, every school should ensure that they have a policy and there's a protocol. Because like I said, I've had a situation where there's a custody battle and the father comes in and says, because it's the mother that brings the child, and I want to take the child. No way. Because the person that brought the child is this person. So we need to call and find out whether it's okay for you. And in the US, if you read stories, all these Amber Alerts about people that they take the kids to Mexico, they take them off, they never see them again. So we are very careful. So when you come in, you have to check, you have to sign in, we have to see your ID, we have to go into the file, we have to check your picture against the picture of the person coming. So we say to parents, if your driver is picking up, then please let us know and sign off that this is a person. If you cannot pick up yourself, because we're not going to release the child, period. So the child rather stay with us, things like that. And then security. We have to be careful the people we're employing as well.
That's very important.
Very critical, because a lot of people come onto premises and they're the ones that sort of scout around and know what's going on. And
so do you have background checks on those you employ?
In fact, I advocate that anybody that comes to me, we take them to police station, take their fingerprints, we go to their village, go and look at who knows.
Oh, you do that with the police?
We don't have a choice. This is a human life. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, you all have kids, right? Can you imagine this kind of thing happening to your children? So I know that these children are very, very important. And if you're running a school, the most important thing is you look after it is our job as a school. Once the parents leave them with us, we have to ensure that they're secure within the perimeters of the building.
Let's go back to...
All right. Sorry, Nata, we need to take a quick break, but not to worry. We'll be back and continue on this one. Don't go away.